You said in an interview with The Times that you thought the government had let down women. Why did you say that?
Well, it was on this most profound area where the Supreme Court said people deserving of dignity, the law, in acts that go back to 50, 60, 70 years, that privacy is your entitlement, upholding your dignity in the most intimate spaces is your entitlement. So one area is here. Grooming gangs, I think you just mentioned that in your introduction. You know, we have a situation, recently we discovered, that Sarah Sharif, that young girl who was so brutally murdered by her family, her father, we heard recently that the chance to prevent that murder was lost due to racial sensitivities. We know that it's mainly Labour-controlled councils, exposed by Andrew Norfolk at the Times, the late Andrew Norfolk, who didn't take the action they should have to prevent vulnerable young women because they were afraid of being called Islamophobic. And we have a situation now where the government has told us they're bringing in a new definition of Islamophobia that will be more speech curtailing, more speech chilling, and you will take one, at the Equality and Human Rights Commission, as you know, we're responsible for religion and belief. We are the regulator of religion and belief, discrimination. They're going to bring in yet another area where, for example, anyone who's defending women's rights is going to be accused by those ethnic minority men of Islamophobia if they dare say something about how Muslim women are suppressed. I'm a Muslim woman myself. I know all about this. I know the community.
It's quite a serious thing to say that the government is allowing practices or neglect or omissions that lead to the outcome that we saw on Sarah Sharif. It's quite a serious thing to point the finger at ministers about.
Yes, and I didn't see any ministers. It is incredibly serious. The murder of a child in those brutal conditions is pretty serious. What's happened to young girls in our northern towns, well, look at London, or is happening here, resisted by the mayor. These are fairly serious things, Trevor. Are women's lives, women's dignity not worth a serious discussion? And let me say one other thing. It is, a lot of people describe my defense of free speech or my defense of certain rights as, oh, these are culture wars. No, you can't disregard 51% of the population on the basis of a bit of a culture war. These are profound, foundational and fundamental rights. And it is serious. And I don't believe this government is taking it seriously.